Congratulations.
What's up everybody, Silver here with another Halo Master Chief Collection Achievement Guide. This time we're doing Charted, which is in Halo CE, beat the par score on the Silent Cartographer. So start up that level. I'm doing this on Legendary to get the most points out of all the kills I'm going to get. So we start off going on the beach. You want to look to the left and there's two grunts hiding behind the rocks. There's all those other enemies over towards the right, but ignore those guys. I just killed these guys in hopes of getting a plasma grenade and a plasma pistol, which is what I've acquired. So I'm going to move over here now. And I'm going to ignore that entire beach encounter because it's just a waste of time. Time is actually a factor, even though we're going for par score. You want to try to hit the par time, or at least get as close to it as you can. Up on that plateau where I'm looking is one of the skulls, by the way. So the par score and the par time are related, like I was saying. If you finish this within the par time, you get the maximum score multiplier, or the time multiplier. It multiplies your score up to 3 times. So if we finish this in 15 minutes or less, our score that we end with will be multiplied by 3. And from there it goes slowly down as you take more time, down to 1, and 1 times your score is just your score. So you end up getting no multiplier if you take way too long. But we're coming upon a pack of jackals here, so this is what the plasma grenade was for. I'm going to throw it right in the middle of the pack. I was hoping to get more than just 4. That seems way too small of a number for the amount of jackals that were there. That's better. So we killed 9 with 2 grenades. Not bad, but I was hoping to get more with that initial grenade. I do have 3 skulls on. I have on Pinata, which means when I smack people, they drop a grenade, so that's just useful. It doesn't multiply my score or anything. I have Boom on, which is what allows me to get more kills with grenades. Boom doubles the blast radius of explosions, so it really helps out when throwing grenades, such as when I threw that grenade into that pack of jackals just there. And you can see I used the noob combo right there to take out the elites. Any shielded enemies you could take out with an overcharged plasma pistol. So that includes elites and also jackals. It will work and collapse their arm shield that they carry around. Because jackals are very annoying when it comes to shooting them. You got to shoot them in their little notch to get them to possibly expose their head. Very annoying. But with the noob combo, it is a breeze. So we're moving up through here. Another skull I have on is Grunt Birthday Party, which you may have noticed by now with the explosions of confetti coming out of Grunt's heads. None of these skulls I've listed that I have on increase your score. Some do, most of them do actually, but the 3 I've chosen do not. You could choose to put on a skull, which would increase the base score of all of the enemies you're killing. So you get more points for all the kills, but it does make the game harder, obviously. The ones that give you a multiplier of some kind. You can put on fog or something minimal, which takes away your radar, and that would give you a little boost for your score. But we're moving through here. We're making good use of grenades. There are plenty of plasma grenades around from enemies dropping them. And we come upon these 2 hunters, and we are going to shoot them in the back with a pistol once. So you can see, just allow them to charge you, then they'll try to melee you, and you just wrap around and shoot them in the back once, and that will kill them with a pistol. So that's how you take care of those bad boys. Very easy. Kind of anticlimactic, since they're the biggest enemies in the game, but you could just kill them really easily. But there's overshield there you saw I picked up, and a bunch of ammo and health, and that blinking thing is the terminal on this level. There's a bunch of jackals up here, so I'm going to take them out with a couple, I was going to say well-placed grenades, but I guess we'll see about that. Here we go. They're chipping away at my overshield that I just got. Thanks, guys. Those grenades weren't that great. I'm not impressed, personally. Could be much better. I could go back and get some more pistol ammo. You can't get another overshield until your current overshield is fully depleted, which is kind of lame, but oh well. So we're just going to pick off the grunts in the area. There is one elite. You can see him moving around in there. And there's a bunch more jackals off to the right. So we're going to take out the jackals, thin them out with a grenade or 2. The headshots, or the headshots, the grunts you could headshot. Not the headshots you could grunt. The grunts you could headshot easily with a pistol, so just take them out from far away. Take your time. Nothing crazy. The jackals are obviously annoying. You could noob them if you'd like. But this guy, I'm definitely going to noob this guy. See that? See how the tree in the old graphics and the new graphics I just switched back and forth between are not lining up? That's very annoying. That's why when I'm doing a lazo run or a speed run where I need to be super awesome, I try to use the old graphics as much as possible because they're actually faithful to what the real geometry of the level is. The new graphics, although pretty and awesome looking, they're not always 100% faithful, so sometimes you think you could shoot something, but then you switch to the old graphics and you're like, oh wait, no, there's a wall in my way. Awesome. So we're wrapping around here. There's just some grunts. There's like 5 or 6 grunts around the corner here. Make sure if you have the boom skull on to back away from other grenades flying at you. That is a double-edged sword. It's great for when you're throwing grenades at people, but also it means you need to get away from all the explosions as well, because frankly, I think you're susceptible to things that go boom as well. So obviously, get away from those grenades. And that goes for other explosions as well, such as rockets going off or scripted explosions, especially at the end of the Maw, where the ship is blowing up everywhere and there's explosions happening. Those could actually hurt you as well, so. Normally those hunters I run past and ignore, but for the interest of points, I'm going to kill them, because you can see there are a lot of points actually, which is pretty cool. So just shoot them in the back. They're very quick, very easy to kill. And you get a ton of points, which is just silly. But whatever, we'll take it. So we open up the security gate, whatever, security door. We overrode the security. And now we're walking back, and this room that we came from is going to be populated by invisible elites. How nice. So you're going to see me throw a couple grenades in here. You can see them with their plasma rifle. You could see the end of it glowing, so that's how you could pick them off or pick them out. And then you could pick them off after you pick them out. Unfortunately, those 2 grenades killed nobody. I was hoping the boom skull would kill a bunch of them. There we go. That's more like what I was looking for. And only 3 were killed, but I have an overshield. It's full, so I think I can make it. There's probably a couple elites left. There they are. Yes. Throw another grenade. Don't want to waste too much time. Got 1. That's not bad. Again, we want to make sure we're getting a halfway decent time, so you don't want to spend too much time. Throw a grenade and you're out of there. So we got more overshield up here, so I'm fresh. I'm going to shoot a jackal over there. It's probably a bad idea in retrospect. I was just looking for more points, but now they're all shooting at me, so they're chipping away at my overshield. You see how I noobed that jackal over there. There's a bunch of rockets and ammo and just health right here. So grab a bunch of that. I switched out my plasma pistol for a rocket, and you want to watch out because the boom skull is on, so those rockets really do blow up right in your face. So you want to keep a good distance from your target when using those, for surely. So we're just hopping back in a hog. I was going to say our hog, but really there's a bunch littered throughout the beach area around here. So we grabbed 1, and we're going to move into the interior of the structure now. So take a right about here. And we could actually drive straight in. You don't have to fight all the enemies around here. If you're confident in your driving abilities, just go up here, whip the hog around, and straight into the structure. That can be done a little more smoothly. I kind of ran into the structure, the door frame. But not bad. And we could drive right on down here. And normally there's a bunch of enemies here if you go here before you activate the security override, but we already did that, so they're not here. There's also a way to jump down the shaft, which is behind me, to get all the way down to the bottom right away, but we're not going to do that. We're just getting points. So assassinate that guy 99.9% of the time. That elite will be facing that crate and just standing there. Only once, or maybe twice, have I ever gone through here and he was not facing that, and I was very confused. So we jump down here, just slide on down. Try not to take any fall damage. If you land where I landed, you won't take any fall damage, but if you miss that little perch, you will take a little bit of damage, but nothing crazy. You'll still survive. It's only really a thing if you still have overshield you want to preserve, because obviously your shield will recharge. So there's a handful of jackals here, so I'm just going to slowly but surely take them out. You could use grenades as well. There's ammo over here and health if you need it. Bunch of that crap right there with those unfortunate Marines who are now no longer breathing. We're going to move into the central area here, and there are 2 hunters, which is great news because they're really just point bags or point machines. They're like those bags in the Adventure of Link that drop rarely, but they're a ton of experience points. They're like that. They're really easy to get the points from. You just stab it with your sword once. That's what we're doing, but we're not stabbing. We're shooting with our pistol once instead of stabbing with our sword once. The parallels to the Adventure of Link in this game are just unfathomable. I mean, Link wears green, the Master Chief wears green. I think they're probably the same character. Link is Master Chief, confirmed. 2015. Citation needed. So anyway, we're moving down into the structure. There are a bunch of grunts here, and there is one elite on this side of the floor we're on, I guess. So we could peek around, just shoot him in the face whenever you see him. You could throw a couple grenades, like that one. The elite's over there. He's not always over there, but that time he was. There's a good chance he's over there, but not always. Sometimes he comes out and plays. So we killed him with the gigantic boom skull explosion from our plasma grenades. The actual explosion visually doesn't get any bigger, but the blast radius does. It's like an invisible shockwave that destroys everything in its path, including all Tyrannosaurus Rexes and any other dinosaurs from 65 million years ago. So we're moving around here. Speaking of dinosaurs, there's two elites over here. Killed one with a rocket. There's always two standing over here. And the other one is... there we go. That was scary. Alright. Activate that, whatever it is, Silent Cartographer, map room. And we're all like, oh my god, now we know more things. Grab that overshield on your way out. And we just gotta make our way back up to the top, and we could get extracted by Foehammer and her Fancy Pants Pelican. So move over here, we're gonna grenade jump. Not 100% necessary, but it makes things a little quicker and easier. I like to throw a couple plasma grenades up here to start, because there are jackals that move out here. Usually there's 2 or 3 that move out, but apparently only that one moved out to that area this time. Which is whatever. I would have liked to have gotten those points, but yeah, we'll deal with it. Just do a grenade jump up there. You got overshield, so it shouldn't cut into your health or anything. Grab the camo. I kind of backed into it. I didn't really display it well on the screen, but it's there. If you turn around, you can see it. So I'm just going to move on by. You could distract yourselves by killing all of the enemies in this area, but don't do that. You really want to use the invisibility for as long as you can. So move as quickly as you can. Assassinating these guys just takes away from your invisibility and how far you could get up into the surface. So just keep moving. Pass all these enemies. They don't know what's going on. This guy I make an exception because he's pretty much in my path. And I don't got to turn around and slow down to kill him. But just move over here, jump over here. Keep moving. There's some grunts here that may get you stuck or something, but just jump over them and try to assassinate this elite. You can see I popped right back into being visually there or whatever, visible, once I passed him. So it's pretty slim, the window of opportunity there, but just keep going up. You can see I threw a plasma grenade at the wall, so it dropped down to where those 3 jackals were. So that's a pretty sweet move. I rely on that a lot. It's pretty easy to pull off, but it's a pretty good trick to use, because obviously taking on 3 jackals at once is a terrible idea. I'm just now realizing I still have rockets, so I'm going to use one. Get out of my face, jackals. Get out of my face. So we're just going to clear out this room real quick. There's a bunch of enemies over there all the time. Bam. Wow. Didn't expect 6, but I'll take it. So just mopping up the remaining enemies. There is a gold elite we got to deal with still. There's a couple jackals, or not jackals, a couple grunts too apparently. And we are moving on. So this guy I normally stick, but since Boom's on, I really should think about throwing it at his feet, which I did there. I actually tried to stick him but missed, but thankfully it landed at his feet and pretty much killed him. A couple pistol shots finished him off. I recommend not sticking him because a lot of the times he will follow you. He'll just run at you once he has been stuck. So that would obviously not bode well for you if it blows up right in your face since he's chasing you. But just hop in here. All the enemies that were up here that you left behind when you just drove straight in here will die, as you just saw. Those 3 elites just collapsed to the floor, but they've been replaced by invisible elites. The nerve of these guys. For God's sake, I'm trying to leave. I'm trying to kill less of you now. I want to get out of here. But just drive your Warthog down here right off the cliff, and there is a bunch of overshields. By a bunch, I mean just one overshield right there. And the exception to the rule of everyone dying that you left behind is these 2 hunters, and also a couple jackals towards the left, like way to the left. So I'm going to throw... normally I just hop on the Pelican right away, but I'm going to throw a plasma grenade there in the interest of killing a few more people. I was expecting way more than just one, but apparently I attracted all the elites over here with this second grenade, or with the first grenade, so they are susceptible to the second grenade. And I'm just going to kill this one last hunter, because they're just a lot of points. You can see the jackals towards the right, further back behind the hunters. But we don't care about them. They're not worth a lot of points. But that is it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Click like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Follow me on Twitter. And I will see you later for more Halo achievements.